Hello, welcome to my new YouTube endeavour, Pollitt's Projects. If you follow me on social media, you'll know that I am a fan of buying cars that would perhaps be considered ill-advised. This is one of them. This is my 2001 Daimler 4-litre V8 long wheelbase. Not a super V8, it's naturally aspirated. It was £700, and up until this point, I've never seen it. I didn't look at it, I just phoned the guy, asked some questions, and then paid 350 quid to have it delivered from Yorkshire. Will it see the road again? I don't know. Will it run? I don't know. Has it got things living in it? More than likely. But that's not the point. It's having some fun trying to get an old car going again. I've done it with my Vitesse outside. I did it with a Rover 827, a Citroen ZX Volcan, a Rover Streetwise. That was ill-advised. But hopefully you'll enjoy the journey of bringing this car back around. It should be a beautiful thing when it's done, but we will see. So in this first episode, we're going to have a look around the car. It doesn't fit in my garage, which is somewhat embarrassing. So in order for it to live outside, we're going to have to wash it because I've not lived here long and I don't want to offend the neighbours, so we'll jet wash it. Yeah, we'll have a look around it, see what's what, press some buttons, stroke some leather, run the back of our fingers across some fine walnut veneer. This is Pollitt's Projects, where ill-advised cars are actually the best cars. It's fine Corinthian leather. It's not Corinthian leather, but it is leather. It does have double coupe holder A. It also has, it's got a SIM, it's got a mobile phone, which now works. It says unregistered SIM card. Hello? Yeah. Have your people call my people, yeah. We'll do lunch, yeah. Networking, synergy, blue sky thinking. Ciao. That's it, I can sell it now. I won't, because I'm going to put it back on the road. That's the plan. You might look at it and go, this is a Jag or a Daimler, and it's going to be rotten, and it's going to have no flaws in it, and it's going to be a world of pain, and it's going to make me sad. And yes, it's going to do all of those things, but that is part of the fun. That is part of the journey. There are reasons that I bought this. So this was for sale. It was up for £900. And because I'm an idiot, I phoned him up and said, I will have that car. I ended up paying £700 for it. And the story goes, the chap, Neil, who I bought it off, he bought it in 2006 and he's put 11,000 miles on it up to 2016. Now, in that time, this car never had an MOT advisory. It was looked after without care or consideration for spend or money. It was just looked after brilliantly, and that's why I bought it. He bought an old Mercedes in 2016 and just went to the German side. So this got parked, and then, to use his words, a day turned into a week turned into a month turned into a year turned into 6 years. It never broke, it never failed, nothing fell off it, nothing exploded. It was a running driving car. He was just distracted by Mercedes. It's had the all-important timing chain tensioners done. They're a known problem on this. They go brittle and they break, but this has been done. And as I touched on earlier, this is a 2001, so this doesn't have the Nickersill issue. So in early cars, the bores were, or the cylinders were Nickersill lined, and obviously older fuel had a lot of sulphur in it, and it would wear that Nickersill away, and then you get bore score, and then that's it. The engine is scrap. So this doesn't have that. It's steel lined, 128,000 miles, full service history. It's a pretty good basis for a project. There are going to be horrors. I'm going to find rust underneath. I'm going to find things I need to fix. The tyres are shot. The brakes need renewing. It needs a full service. It doesn't run at the minute. It does, I can happily say, have functioning wipers. It does crank. So the engine isn't locked up. You might think that's a slightly silly move to just crank a car that hasn't moved for 6 years, but the reality is, if this engine was locked up and dead, it was scrap. No one was going to rebuild it, so it was do or die. So it spins over. It's quite a healthy sounding crank, as cranks go. I think the fuel pump has probably given up, so that will be the first thing I try. The relays look all okay. I've had a circuit test run on them as best I can. So yeah, I think it's a fuel pump issue, which would make sense because it's been sat for so long. But it cranks, that's the main thing. I've been told the 5-speed automatic transmission was in good fettle. It's one of those sealed for life units though, so we'll see. But that's all part of the journey, that's all part of the fun. You know, in terms of the bones of it, I think it's got a lot of potential. There are some dents on it, and obviously the bodywork is very dirty and very sad at the minute, but we'll sort that out shortly. But I've always wanted one of these. If I can get this back on the road, this is a keeper. I love them. I love how they're made. I love how I feel when I'm sat in it. You know, it was £700. It smells faintly of stale wee, but this is my Daimler, my V8 Daimler, and that's lovely. And it has so many buttons. I have a Dolby button, and I have an auto button, and I've got red arrow button. What could you want? And the kids will love it in the back with walnut tables. Or they think they'll love it in the back. I'm never actually going to let them in it because they're sticky, gravelly, dirty things. The children, not the tables. You've got to buy these old things and give it a go, you know. So what if it doesn't? I'll break it for parts, but hopefully it won't come to that. I like getting these neglected old cars that nobody else with any shred of sensible thought would ever buy and bringing them back. It's what I like doing. It would be a terrible shame to see this die, so let's give it a chance at least. But next, we're going to bust out the jet wash, because I've only just moved here, and it's very nice where I live, and I don't want to leave a mouldy Daimler on the driveway. It might not work, it might not run, it might not have an MOT, but at least if it's not got moss growing on it, it's easier on the eye. So let's do that. It is a pretty solid old thing. All the arches are present and correct. There's a little bit of flaky under there, but we can treat that and paint that back up. It's dead straight, which is nice. All the trims there. Again, back arches are pretty darn solid. There's a bit of crust on the sill ends, but it's all, you know, bits breaking off. But there's still good metal under there. It's surface stuff. It's just where it's got in under the arches. It's done 128,000 miles. It's not going to be perfect. Back boxes look all right. It all looks pretty good in the inner arches. There's, again, surface corrosion, but there are no holes. There's nothing, no significant rot that I can see. And when it was up on the recovery truck, I had a look underneath it and give it a little taparoo with a small toffee hammer, and nothing seemed to go through. Needs a good clean, obviously. The centre caps have gone walkies, which is a shame, because they're £200 for a set. But if the car behaves and it comes back around, it can have a set of centre caps. Tyres are shot, which is a shame because they've got loads of life in them, but the tyre walls have gone where the car's been sat for 6 years. It's all present and correct up front. The bumpers hang on it. It's got a bit of scuff there. I need a bit of paint, but again, that's way, way, way down the line. Now, where it was parked, so the chap I bought it off basically parked it at his house, in between his house and his garage, and it didn't move until my recovery man turned up, and to use his words, he built his house around it, so something has fallen on it there and put a big crease in the wing, and there's another there, but none of it has broken the paint, so hopefully a PDR guy, again, when we get to that point, can pull those out. There's slight stress fracture in the paint there, but we might save it. We're not going for perfection, just going to get it back on the road. Wings, yeah, so that wing's probably for replacement, to be honest. Bit of crust in it, but the wings aren't that hard to replace on these. And there's always going to be a bit of something. That's probably gone behind as well. But we will investigate that in due course. Pinstripe, which is hand painted, which is nice. V8 badges, always nice. And yeah, you got all the dents there. But again, the arches are all right. Sill ends need a bit of cleaning up and protecting. That's quite crusty there. I'm not going to push that too hard, otherwise my finger will go through it. But it's fine, it's a project car, that's part of the fun. What we need to do now though, is spray it down with some citrus degreaser and cleaner, and then get the jet wash on it, throw a bit of quick detailer on it, and it's less offensive for my neighbours, and then that'll be it for this video. So let's crack on with a bit of a transformation, make it look a little bit better, if nothing else. I might even put some tyre shine on it, like a lunatic, even though the tyres are fit for scrap. Right, cleaning stuff. So we're not going for a full detail, just making it a bit more street presentable. So a bit of auto finesse citrus power. Just start breaking down some of the dirt, let that soak in. Good degrease of that. And I'll go around the seams. This is just to get the real heavy stuff out. And like I say, we'll jet wash it off. We're not going for perfection here. Less mouldy than it was. Plus, this isn't to clean the car, this is just to break down some of the plant life that's on it. It's just to make it less offensive to my lovely, lovely neighbours. I don't want to be that guy with a mouldy old car in the driveway. So. This bit. Oh, there it goes. So that's good for you as it was for me. Go me. My lovely neighbour has loaned me a jet wash, but I don't have the right hose pipe for it, which is less than ideal. But I do have a battery powered one. Nah, it's rubbish. I'm a little bit cold, I'm slightly losing dexterity. I feel like I'm wiping out an entire ecosystem here. Ooh, how was that for you? How was that for you? Raining now. That's it, I'm now that lunatic on the street who washes his car in the rain. Ran out of water again. Let's have a little warm the hands up break. Like I say, this isn't a detail, this is just a mercy wash. Can you hear that? That's Tom, who detailed the Rover, screaming. What are you doing, you lunatic? You're gonna scratch the paint. Look, there's a car under all that moss, and it's not a bad looking car either. It needs a machine polish, it needs full paint correction, it needs the works, but it looks better now, and I'm even more enthused now to get cracking and make it work. So I'm going to go inside in a minute because it started to rain, obviously, because I've just washed the car, so why wouldn't it? But in the next video, we're going to get this beast started. We're going to drive it up and down the driveway because it's not legal yet, and we're in no way going to regret spending £700 on a 4 litre V8 Daimler. Catch you in the next one. It's very wet.